was a sound like no other when they raised that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. Today, two NFC clubs going head-to-head, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now Rattler. Flush to his right. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
They'll throw. Here's Rattler. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
A gain of 7, and the Saints 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. Now there's Cooks in motion right. Rattler wants to throw it. He gets this complete to Shaheed. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. He will push his way down to about the 14. He was brought down there by Julian Love.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. They run it again with Kamara. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. They'll go with the keeper. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that play seemed well scouted defensively. They collapsed everything inside. Nowhere to go on the quarterback sneak. Now it's going to bring up 4th down.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and run the option. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. Keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Saints take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Right off the bat, they start with a very solid, methodical 10-play drive.
And you know me, I tend to look at things from the defensive side. They're coming off the field gassed right away. We're in the first drive of the game. So it's not just what happened, but think of the emotion you carry into a game. Then double it with getting a 10-play drive put on you and points scored. They're pretty tired right now.
The point after, good by Groupie. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. Nifty move. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Leading them out is their 6'3" quarterback, the 3rd overall selection in 2018, Sam Darnold.
And I know that last year in 2024, New York Jets fans were watching him and saying, that's the guy we thought we were going to get. But he found his groove in Minnesota, finishing the top 5 in passing yards and touchdowns last year. Now in Seattle, where we proved that last season was no fluke.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
First carry here for Ken Walker. And this will be a Seahawks first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
9 yards. That's good for a Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Seahawks, 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now it's Darnold. Throw out wide to Walker. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 2nd down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well-drilled, well-prepared, and excited to start this game.
And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he he's brought down. 1st and 10. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Chase Young just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This one goes underneath to Walker. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Myers' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Now their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing is Rattler. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. Pushing through the contact. Down at the 35, it'll be 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Again, it's Camaro. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Rattler from the gun, 3rd down. Eluding the pressure right. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the 2 teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now a 2nd and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Wreaking havoc was Nathan Shepard, the D tackle.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Here's Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. Deep for New Orleans is Rashid Shaheed. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now they'll toss it out right to Camaro. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people. Here's Rattler.
That's complete to Cooks. And just right at midfield. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
13 yards. First down, New Orleans.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
They'll go play action here with Rattler. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. That sack, it goes to Boye Mafe.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. To the air is Rattler. He completes it to Olave. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
But that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball on the 27. Here's a second down and 6. Now back to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
No receivers open, so Rue's forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers. And ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
The Saints on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Kamara up the middle. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Here's Blake Groupie now for the Saints field goal. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. But the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They're in a 13-3 hole here now as they come up on first down. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Oh, this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
To throw is Darnold. He finds Smith and Jigba. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. A shotgun snap for Darnold. That is caught. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Darnold. And complete to Smith and Jigba. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
There's a short one caught by Arroyo. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 16. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Back to throw, Darnold. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. Here's Darnold running the option left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Sam Darnold keeping it himself from 8 yards out. And the Seahawks get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. That time a 9-play drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Quick move by Miller. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen with you from the EA Studios in Orlando. This has been a heck of a game so far. Just a field goal separating these two squads. You have to imagine both sides are trying to figure out how to clean things up and put some touchdowns up in the second half. Let's find out what goes on in the third quarter. Back out to the stadium and our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles
Okay, Scott,
Davis.
thank you. And this one's still anybody's game. We'll see who can come out with a hot hand in this second half as we are about to get underway. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. Well, out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the third quarter. And, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
And that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Darnold from the gun. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. And they get 10 yards there and convert on third.
That's good for a Seattle Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They've kept him in check until that run. That's the first time he's really gotten loose in this game.
And they have to keep that in mind. Don't dwell on the fact that he finally had a big run. You kind of are counting on that as the game went on. Get back to what you were doing before. Start limiting him again.
Now Darnold. Walker with a grab, left side. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And it'll be second down.
Out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Darnold down to throw. Smith and Jigma with the grab. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Darnold. There's a short one caught by Arroyo. Yeah, he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Charbonnet. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Working to put a drive together. Cooks will come in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. Big DeMarcus Lawrence getting him in, bringing him to the ground.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Rattler. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And that is too far out in front of his intended target. Incomplete.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. A play fake, and it's Darnold. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I think we could easily read his mind there. There was just no place to go. Tried to bounce it and get outside on the draw.
Yeah, but the defense wasn't thinking pass. They knew that they were running it.
And I love the way that they covered all the gaps. You know, we can do all the lettering and the numbering and all those things, but those run fits that we talk about all the time, each person fitting in the proper spot on defense, you see the end result when they do that.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I know that we've seen their share of struggles, and the quarterback's been hit a few times in this game, but this one can't be put on the offensive line. They gave him plenty of time to throw the football. I think ultimately he has to be a lot more decisive in his decision-making and get rid of it and find an open target.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. And he'll start with a give to Kamara. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 42 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
First down, Saints.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. And there's Cooks in motion right. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 44-yard line, here's second down and 1. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. First down, New Orleans.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
Now they contend with a second and 12 after the loss. Throwing is Rattler. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They'll throw. Here's Rattler. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 16. That third down conversion good for 23.
And the Saints first down.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
At the 4-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Kamara. It's going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Rattler wants to throw it. Got a man, it's Cooks. Touchdown, New Orleans.
To Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks. with an amazing diving catch. And the Saints are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Groupie able to add the PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Now it's Darnold. And these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
At the 24-yard line.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Here's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
To the air again, Darnold. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Straight ahead, Walker. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The Seahawks on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Darnold keeps it. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's good for a Seahawks first down.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Here's 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. Looking to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Sam Darnold with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Myers connects on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Seahawks 17.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. On play action, Rattler. Open man left side, Shaheed has it. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Rattler. There's a short one caught by Johnson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 4.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
3rd and 4. To the air is Rattler. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Throwing once more, here's Rattler.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Witherspoon on the coverage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. From the shotgun, Rattler. That's to his running 9-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. To throw is Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive linemen. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Outright to Smith and Jigba. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6. Off of play action, Darnold. That's taken in by Arroyo. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Well, this offense hasn't been at their best here. They've made some mistakes. They've been frustrated. They've been largely shut down. But then you look up and say, wait a second, this is a one-score game. So they're still very much in this, and they're on the move here with a first down.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Valdez-Scantling in motion right. Darnold to throw again. That'll be caught by Cobb. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 4.
Darnold. Look in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 43.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Here's Darnold. They'll get this one to Cobb complete. And he's taken down inside the 30.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Darnold to throw. Looking outside, and he's got a man. That's Walker.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes a catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Darnold. There's a short one caught by Arroyo. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
That's a gain of 8.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. What can they draw up now? Time to find out on a 3rd and 8. Now Darnold. There's a short one caught by Arroyo. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
6 yards.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Myers' kick is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Saints again ready to go on offense. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Now 2nd down and a few inches. They'll throw. Here's Rattler. It's complete. Kamara. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. Now Rattler. Over the middle and complete to Shaheed. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and dropped shy of the 45.
At this stage, you've got to hustle, got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Throwing is Rattler. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Rattler wants to throw it. Little short pass here to Hill. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. To the air once more is Rattler. Here we go. This to avoid overtime. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So it's the Saints who are going to be in position to get the ball first as we are back underway and set for overtime. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Saints coming out now to take the field. Looking to put a drive together. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Opening drive of overtime. Both teams will get a possession, barring a defensive score. Here's second down. Looking underneath, he's got Akers. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They'll run on first down with Akers. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Second down and 4. From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
The pass caught by Olave. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's second down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 36-yard line.
From the gun, here's Rattler. A quick throw there is incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd and short. To the air is Rattler. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
A gain of 9 yards. And the Saints first down.
Shaping up to be a very efficient opening drive here in overtime.
And can you feel the tension building? Because I'm feeling it. All right, I've got the sweaty palms here with each play because of the enormity of what's going on. Each play means so much in overtime, and they're handling it well as this drive continues.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Right back to him for 10 more and a first.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
And Rattler will throw again. That's out to the flat for Akers. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that will bring up second down.
I know it was a game, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Rattler. And this is a touchdown. Now, it's not over yet, but they draw first blood here in this overtime.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense. But when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Here's Groupie for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. They need a matching touchdown here to keep their hopes alive. Here's second down. Up the middle, here's Walker. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Darnold with his first throw of OT. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdes-Scantling. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
That's another Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
Darnold from the gun. Outright to Smith-Njigba. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes. They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Darnold. Buying time to his left. And Darnold going to slide to the ground here, but not before he does pick up the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening, but they found the opening and exploited it.
Now Myers for the extra point. And he'll bang that one through. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Each team's had it in overtime, so next score wins. Here's 2nd down. From the shotgun, Rattler. Into the hands of Cooks. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one as a receiver's got to make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Rattler from the gun, 3rd down. Connecting with Hill. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Saints.
That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. Here's a 2nd and 5. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
That's Olave bringing in another one. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd down at the Seahawks 38-yard line.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Rattler going to look to throw again. A little short pass here to Hill.
Rattler's pass complete to Taysom Hill. A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
One overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good. And they have won it here in double overtime.
Seahawks 27.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Seattle, so long, everybody.